Welcome guys, it's time for another post-commentary video. As announced, I have two more of these, one against Naiman, who might be known to the one or the other guy of you, and the last one against Thais. One of you pointed out that I could at least put a static deck list into the video, and you're absolutely right. I don't have a clue why I didn't do this before. So you have the deck list on the right. I'm still playing Handlock, and as you can see, I had done some climbing after the Gara game until I encountered Naiman. So it's Handlock against Hunter, which is usually one of the more intense matchups. So I want something early, something like Mortal Coil, Darkbomb, maybe an Owl for against a Mad Scientist or something. Because I don't know what kind of Hunter it is, and if it's Face Hunter, it's usually one of the harder matchups. It doesn't have a turn 1, which makes me a little bit more comfortable at this point. Everything again changes, we know. So there's a Mad Scientist, and that's why I would have liked to have an Owl early on, because it just gets rid of his secret and trades. With this hand, I cannot really win against him. I could play the Sunfury into it, but then again, it's more value basically, and more health also to use the Sunfury again with the Twilight Drake turn 4. Or maybe I could have, at this point, I could have coin out Twilight Drake. But since he played Wolf Rider, it's pretty clear that he is Face Hunter. So I kind of want to get rid of the Wolf Rider and also heal myself back up. And the Earthen also trades with the Mad Scientist at least, so I have this going for me at this point. Animal Companion Misha is tough though, and he hides this Leper Gnome behind it. And this is one of the key turns now, where it all comes together, depending on what cards both of us will draw or already have. So there are a lot of considerations to be made. I could trade my Earthen Ring into his Misha and then Hellfire to clear the board, but then I drop down to 19 life and have nothing else on the board left. Whereas I could also play the Twilight Drake, and if I play the Twilight Drake, I have the chance of clearing his board next turn, because I probably drop low enough to play the Molten Giant, and that's I hesitate. I stopped the video for a second. So I probably draw up low enough to play the Molten Giant the next turn and taunt up both the Twilight Drake and the Molten Giant. On the other hand, it's kind of risky because I don't have any healing left in my hand so far, so I would have to draw into either Earthen or one of the two Healbots in the deck. It's kind of risky. Both plays aren't great, because the one leaves me without a board and the second one leaves me with a low health total. But given that I have two Hellfires, Hellfire is definitely a considerable option. But I would be up against his, let's say he plays a Cane Golem next turn, I can't really deal with it. So I would have to, drop the Drake and do nothing. So I can as well just do it now, I guess. I'm not, even now, I'm not sure if this is a mistake, though. Now he drops a lot of stuff. And just goes face, like a true hunter does. And I'm pretty low now. But as you can see, now I can taunt up both the Molten Giant and the Drake, which gives me a total of 16 HP. So I can also drop them together, because I can Mortal Coil the Leper Gnome to get 2 more damage to make the Molten Giant 2 mana cheaper. And then I can trade into his Misha and one of the Scientists. And so I'm up against a total of 2 damage from the board at this point, but 12 damage of taunt, basically. And I have a second Sunfury, so overall it's not a good position to be in with 12 HP. I mean, you could just play, I don't know, Haunted Creeper, Kill Command into Kill Command or something over the next 2 turns. But at least there are 12 points of taunt in the way, for now at least, and there are still some possibilities of drawing into a Healbot or healing in general. And also this sets up kind of a bigger board to kill him soon, because I have to kill him soon, but he has the Unleash and the Explosive Trap, which I suspect to be Explosive Trap at this point. So now it's 6 damage on his side. So he could run everything into the Molten Giant and just leave it be, and then it probably dies to an Explosive Trap. And then I drop to 10 myself, and then he could also hero power, so I would drop to 8 with only a 4-2 Drake left. But he decides to go for more damage and just to kill the Molten Giant right away, and to kill, set everything else at 2 it seems like, but it just goes for the kill on the Molten Giant, because I could heal it with a second Earthen, I guess, which isn't too bad of a play. At this point it's like super risky, because I could drop down to 10, which could kill me right away. I stopped the video for a second again, because there are a few considerations to be made. If I attack him now, the Explosive Trap triggers, and I go down to 10, and I lose my taunt. Like, if he has a weapon or another charger, I will be glad to have a taunt. But on the other hand, I could do it now, then drop to 10, drop to 8 with a zero power basically, so I could easily die next turn, so I kinda don't want to do this. And Emperor enables me to do a lot more stuff at the moment. Like, not for the moment, but for the next turn. I could have set up the Twilight Drake and taunted it, but I can do this the next turn still. And he probably will have to go through my first Drake anyways. And this play enables me for the next turn to play Twilight Drake, Loatheb, and to and to taunt both up with the Sunfury, so that he can't use any spells and has a lot of taunts in the way. So I'm quite comfortable to at least survive the next turn, although I'm still in pretty big need of healing though. At this point there's like no way not to trigger the Explosive Trap, because I have to kill him in 2 turns. I have 6 damage from the Hellfire, so if I draw any healing I could basically deal 6 from the hand. 7 now from what I see, if the second trap isn't Freezing Trap. I suspect it to be snakes, but it could be freezing also. But he got them from the Mad Scientist, so the first one could be freezing, so I want to test with the Earthen, of course. So nothing triggers. Yeah, it's like more attacking now. Rather this than the other one frozen. No, it's snakes as suggested. And now it's just playing stuff to stay alive this particular turn. And now I have 9, 14, 16... 9, 14, 16... 20 damage on the board. No, do I? 9, 11, 14, 18. 18 damage on the board. So I could kill him with both Hellfires to go for a draw, but the problem is he, of course, uses his hero power, so I would need some healing. And there it is. And this is an interesting moment, because the Earthen allows me to heal back up to 6, which means I could play 2 Hellfires, but I also died to 2 Hellfires with 4 HP. So this means the Earthen enables me to tap for something that wins me the game right away. Because at this point I have 18 on the board, so a Darkbomb, for example, wins me the game. And I'm not sure, both Hellfires cost 2 mana also, so I could like tap into Defender of Argus for 2 more damage, then play Defender and Earthen. No, that's not possible. So I basically need a Darkbomb, one of the 2 in my deck. But otherwise I have to go for a draw, because I lose the next turn definitely. Or, yeah. It's pretty likely that I lose the next turn. That's a Belcher, so this doesn't help. We still know that the trap isn't explosive, but snakes, so I can go All in. Just do it. Past me. And now it's 5 health, so a Darkbomb would have been lethal at this point, but fortunately I don't have it, so I just go for the double Hellfire to draw this game, to at least don't lose any points. Would have been nice to win against a higher ranked Legend player, but you can't have it all always, especially in such a tense matchup. So I'm kind of staying on my place, and that's for this video. Like I said, I have one more Handlock video on my hard drive, which was against Tice, and which will be spoken in and uploaded soon, and I hope I'll see you next time.